Babs and I'm a surface pattern designer, and today I'm going to show you how to take your idea and make it into a repeating pattern. So as you can see here, my idea was my Monstera plant. It's my favourite house plant. I think they're so gorgeous. And when I became a surface pattern designer, I'd been dreaming of this, making patterns from this plant for quite a while. So this is how I did it. So firstly, there was meant to be another bit at the start of this video, but apparently QuickTime doesn't want to work. So what I did, I took some pictures, I got my sketchbook out, drew, just sketched, some of the leaves and stuff. And I decided to just use fine liner because I want this to be quite a minimalistic collection or patterns, whatever. Obviously, if you're just starting out, you're just going to focus on making one pattern at a time. So I drew them, well, sketched them with pencil, went over it in fine line, then I scan it in, then I place the image, and then I use image trace to get to this point, which I'll have to do in a different video. So I just wanted to show you that from here, how you can make an actual pattern with some ideas. So I got this one and I'm going to show you a super quick and easy pattern. So I always make a duplicate. So I did that by selecting it and holding Option. And then I want another one and another one. And then I'm going to make these small. So I'm going to press S, shortcut for scale. I'm going to hold down the shift key to keep it perfect and make it smaller. I actually want them really small. And I'm going to change the colour of these guys now as well. I'm going to have, I think I'll go a bit brighter green. Yep. And then I'm just going to play with these. I'm going to rotate this one a bit so it's a bit more straight. This one, rotate so it's kind of pointing that way. This one, I'm actually going to press O, make that go opposite. Like that. And then I'm going to kind of bring it up. I want to make a soft little, like, arc. Super just soft and subtle. Okay, so that was really quick. And then I want to group all of these together. So I'm going to select them all and then Command Group. And then I actually know for this, I just want to do this in a half drop. So a half drop looks like, so that would go straight under there. And then if I could do that again, and then you'll get the picture of what a half drop looks like. So that, and then if these three were the same, yeah, so it's the same pattern, it's just halfway dropped halfway. So that's called a half drop. What I was planning to do with them was to sort of flip them over. Okay, so that's sort of what I'm thinking now. What you need to do now, so that was just a super quick, pattern making. I did already know what I was going to do. Don't worry if you don't create patterns that fast, because there's a lot of trial and error involved, but I'll be honest, I knew what I was going to do. So next up, now we need to create the box. But to be honest, first of all, when you do a half drop, you actually only ever need 5 motifs to do a half drop, which I didn't realize at first. I've made this pattern before, but it had more. I had an extra row. So I've pressed the M shortcut to get my box drawing, or you can click the rectangle here. I know I want to change the colour to be this light colour. I want it super neutral and nice. Now the secret to making a pattern is coming up. So you want to draw the box, and I'm going to specifically know that I'm going to this I'm going to go from right in that corner there. And then what I need to do is drag it across here. So I'm going to the first monstera leaf, and it's that tiny corner there and that tiny corner there. Need to make sure it gets everywhere. Okay, so that's roughly in the same spot of the motif on each 4 corners. I'm going to send this box to the back now because you can't see. So for that I press Command Shift and then left square bracket. And then I'm going to press V or the arrow, so you get the black arrow up to get back to my normal selection tool. Now this won't be mathematically perfect yet, so I don't, because I was just guessing. So if we made this into a repeat pattern now, it would probably come out with a line. It wouldn't be perfect. So what we need to do is have the box selected, and then you need to find out its properties. I have mine in this corner over here. If you don't know where it is, you can go up to help, just type it in and it'll show you where to find it on here. So we need to look at the width and the height. Now these are really awkward numbers at the minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change them to something more memorable. Now, because this pattern is so simple and, you know, easy to change, I'm going to round this up to a really nice 70. But sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you just need to take the decimals away because you can't really afford to lose those extra millimeters, or some people like to work in pixels. And then I'm going to take this one to 35, which actually is pretty beautiful because I'm sure that that is half of that. So that was nicely done. So that's perfect. That is the rectangle that I was hoping for. Now we can put that window away. So we don't actually need to move the box. The box can stay there. But what we do need to do is delete everything that's touching a side. And then we're going to go back to this one, and we need to remember those numbers, because what we need to do, you can press Control, Transform and Move, but on my laptop I can just press Enter and the shortcut comes up. So I could do horizontally, that's fine. I'm going to move it 70 millimeters, but vertically not at all yet. And then press Copy. So now that is perfectly at the exact same spot. Now to move them down, I want to hold down Shift, select them both. This time I'm just going to press Enter. I don't want to move it horizontally, so 0, tab to vertical. I want to move it down 35 millimeters this time. And then press Tab and then Copy. Make sure you press Copy, not OK. If you press OK, you just have to undo and start again. Okay, so now these 4 are perfectly aligned. What I need to do here more, I'm just kind of going to do this by eye, putting it in the middle. But you could, if you wanted, like move that across and then move it down half of, you know, it'd be like 17.5, I think would be half of 35. If you wanted it exact, but right now I'm just going to do it by eye. Now, the next part is really, really important. You need to copy this box. So I'm going to press Control C and then, well, Command C and Command B to paste it exactly behind. So we can't see that now, but it's the AI is, you know, Adobe Illustrator is actually holding on to that. We must make it have no stroke and no fill. So now there is an invisible box behind here, which is so important. Don't move it. Okay, you can click off it now. And then we're going to select everything. And we're going to drag that across to our swatches panel. And now it's got one there. And we're going to zoom out and come over here and draw a nice big box. And then we're going to fill it. And there we go. There's our pattern. So if if we zoom in close, it should all be nice, no breaks, no lines, nothing. So that is what I decided to do for that. And basically I made a mini collection using these other ones. I also used these three in a pattern, and I'll show you what I did for this one. So this one was a bit chunkier a line than the others, so it wasn't really going to match if I made a collection. You know, it's not really cohesive because they're all one thickness and that's bigger. So what I did with this one, I have it selected, I press Shift M, and this makes what's it called, shape drawing tool, I think. I don't usually talk to myself when I'm doing this, so I forget the names. And then I'm going to choose this colour and I'm going to draw a line through all the parts in there. So it's actually made this block solid, so no one could really tell that it was drawn with a chunkier line. So I'm not going to show you how to do this pattern, but I've got some hiding over here of what I did earlier. So this is just one motif, one little drawing, image traced, and then I think with this one I drew the box first, so you can do that, whereas before I made the pattern first. So I drew the box, that's perfectly square, and then I started working on it. So I did one line and then I copy it to the other side, fill in the gaps. So then that's another Monstera pattern. And then this is another one where this is just 3 leaves. This one is the same one in the pattern that I just showed you. So yeah, they're just turned round, different size. And then I will show you what I ended up with. So this top line is the ones that you've just seen. And then you can have a play around with colour. That's always so much fun. So these are just 2 different colourways that I did. Yeah, so I like this one because it's sort of like camouflagey, but then it's like tropical. I like this one. It's just really nice. I don't know. That just really pleases me. And then yeah, this one is so cute, and this one is available to buy in my Etsy shop at the minute, all these 3 colours. I might put the others up, I don't know. We'll see, but I do this one in a smaller scale for stationery, which, you know, would look good if you had it on like notebooks or folders. And I also do it slightly bigger for fabric. I always thought it looked so cute for like a little boy's, you know, like shirt and shorts, holiday outfit. And I also think like nursery furniture and like soft furnishings, you know, it's really gender neutral and just calming, and it's just nice to look at. So they are 3 super duper easy, quick patterns, and I hope that helps you, show you how to get your idea onto the computer and how to make a pattern really easily. Okay, so I hope this helps, guys.